Well, how do I find somebody? How do I find somebody? And how do I find a Christian, woman? And young ladies ask the same thing to you and to us. And I think patience is a great answer, but also you have to prepare yourself as if the next conversation you might have might be the person. Are you the person that you actually think is the most likely to be someone worthy of being attracted to, right? And so I think that young men almost feel entitled to a relationship at times. And I can speak at least from the young male side.
What do you mean by, entitled to?
I would say that a lot of young men don't have their life together. They are lacking responsibility in their life. They're lacking direction. And I think a lot of young women, they don't necessarily need an Instagram model. They want someone who is willing to take responsibility for difficulty and to go through uncertainty and the unknown and to tell the truth and to be committed to those ideals.
Right.
Where I think there's a culture that's been created of young men that basically are afraid of responsibility and they just want the gratification without it. And then there's another whole segment of women that basically, because of the hyperfeminization of everything, become almost the male figure in the relationship.
Right.
I think that's very dangerous.
Well, I'm a strong female, and you know that, but I also, and I have full respect for other alpha females out there, but there is a time and a place to be an alpha female. And when you're in a relationship, you are not in competition with your other half, and you're not in competition with them from the standpoint of who's in charge.
So how do you talk to boss babes out there that are like, I'm never going to be able to find a man?
They need to, first of all, humility is huge in that standpoint, but second of all, the whole boss babe culture is so toxic. It's so toxic, and it even talks about in scripture how 2 oxen can carry a heavier load. You cannot do it all by yourself. And for women out there who think they don't need a man or don't think they need someone to help them pursue further in life or to have a more complete fulfillment of themselves, I have seen it firsthand living in Manhattan, where women who are in their late 30s, early 40s, their life was their career, and there's nothing wrong with that, because my mom was a career-oriented woman and career-oriented mom, but you sacrifice a lot of things, and then by the time you're in your 40s, you're bitter, you're frustrated, you feel like you missed out, and you feel like you are behind the curve, and then you just are, tainted. From a boss babe culture, it forces women to feel like they all need to be entrepreneurs. And they're not. Not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. We all have a specific role. But that's why I think so many women get frustrated as they look on social media and they're like, oh, this person has their own business. Company. Right. Or they're selling shampoo, or they're a multi-level marketing genius or whatever. But it's one of those things where our God is a God of order. And there's a reason why there is a husband and a wife. And there's a reason why there's a family. And there's a reason why there's certain things you're supposed to do beforehand, before you get married. And there are things that you're not supposed to do before you get married, which is saved for marriage itself. And I think that goes for dating too. You're not supposed to treat your boyfriend or your girlfriend like your fiance or like your husband. You set boundaries, and you really are able to then say, okay, he is in charge of XYZ in our relationship. I am in charge of the other side of that. And I know that a lot of women who are strong, they're very strong personality females, you have to also give your other half, your counterpart, your male companion, the respect they deserve.
And I think men have to be worthy of that respect, too.
They do, absolutely.
And that it feeds into itself. So women say, you're not worthy of my respect, I'm going to become the man. Mm-hmm. So you have these hyper-masculine women in their early 30s that are quite honestly miserable in relationships. Right,
but it doesn't start like that. I feel like women just, they keep tapping away until the guy completely breaks down and he's like, look, you do whatever you want to do.
Or they just disengage. Or they become a feminine man.
Right.
New York is full of them.
Yeah.
It's of these men that kind of take a backseat role to a much more boss babe type woman. I just don't think that works.
I mean, obviously I don't either, considering who I'm dating.
However, that doesn't mean that...
Or who I'm engaged to.
That doesn't mean women can't succeed and flourish and invest and grow.
I think it's very important that women have their own, whether that's a career or they're invested in something, or they're invested in something outside of the household, whether that's volunteering your time, whether that's having your own company, whether that's homeschooling your kids. I think we all have our own lane and position to play within the relationship.
What bothers you the most when you look at, you kind of touched on this, but the dating landscape when you look at it?
So for me, I just hate wasting time. That's my biggest thing. I never had short relationships. My relationships were always either they were longer. But for me, it's one of those things where I'm not going to waste my time just going out to dinner just for a free dinner. I think that's so tacky. I think it's tacky that you are stringing someone along because you're afraid of being alone. That it just never resonated with me. And I just knew that there was no reason for me to compromise. And the thing that drives me nuts too is when you ask someone who they're dating, or who they're wanting to marry, they have this list. But I don't know if you had a list. I didn't have a list, but like I know some people who have a list that is easily 30 items long.
Like they're building a teddy bear.
100%.
Build-A-Bear.
Right. They need to be 6'5". They need to be
Perfect
XYZ. They need right. Like all these things, and you just you literally are looking at them like, are you trying to create a Sims player? Like there's no way you're going to be able to. See, there's certain things you need to compromise on and be realistic with. And God has prepared for you someone who is amazing and someone who is worthy of your heart and your love. And why would you want to forfeit that?
Yeah. There's people that are emailing us a lot, and they say, I have given up all hope. I'm never going to find anyone.
Right.
And, what can I possibly do? And again, I think that before looking outward and getting bitter, you should look inward and try and say, how am I going to prove myself worthy of actually wanting to be with somebody? At least that's on the male side. I don't know if it's necessarily.
Well, and how would you recommend them looking inward?
On the male?
Yeah.
Stop doing addictive things that make you less likely to be productive.
Okay.
So chemically addictive, obviously substances. And for men, I think it's a different issue because the young men have been beat down so much. And I think that women are being pushed into positions that they're not actually always comfortable with. I think there's some young ladies that literally just, I don't want to say literally just, but they want to become a mother and a wife, but they feel that's not the right thing to do at age 24, 25. And why not?
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
And why have to go work at some awful company in San Francisco for a couple years? Why? And then they start to realize that it's actually a lot harder to find somebody worthwhile to go build a family or go do that.
And in those cities especially, that's the hardest thing. Yeah. It's like in those types of cities, it's not like you can just run into someone. So a lot of those people that do go to those big cities hope to find someone in the church. And that's where it gets kind of messy, because when you go to a Bible study that's co-ed and people are single, everyone's just like sniffing each other. Like, are you single? Are you single? Will you want to go get coffee? And it's just that weird tiptoeing around.
It's really not a Bible study.
No. Not at all, which is unfortunate. And that's for a whole nother topic at another time. But I think there becomes almost this desperation of I'm running out of time. And I think people forget that God is the author of time, and He knows exactly when you need to find that person and when you need to settle down and where you need to be. And I think that for me, that's one of the most precious things, is having that relationship with Christ, knowing, okay, where am I supposed to be at this time? Where am I supposed to be living? What am I supposed to be doing to further the kingdom, and really being vulnerable and open to making sure that you stay within the confines of God's will and living a life that's glorifying to Him.
We're super excited. And this is a very exciting chapter despite all the nonsense happening in our country and the world.
What is the one question that you're annoyed of getting?
Well, when is the wedding?
That drives me nuts.
We just got engaged.
We just got engaged.
I can't go to a wedding, let alone host a wedding.
We don't even know what time we're leaving the office, let alone.
How am I supposed to host a wedding? I can't have 8 people over for Thanksgiving.
Plus, I'm not a huge wedding person.
I am,
but
that's
I'm
unusual
not, like,
for women. Usually their
I have
entire
not
life
been,
centers around the wedding.
planning a wedding since they were 5. That's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that question.
That question.
And then it's just timeline. It's just kind of.
Timeline, yeah.
But
figuring it all out. I think for me, it's people saying, like, let me see the ring.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
That's definitely a common question,
It's so, and I get it, and I respect it, because there's a lot of people who are excited about seeing, but to me, it was always so tacky when girls would take a photo.
I'm so excited I'm engaged.
With their hand in front of their face. Right.
Excited.
Or they'll put their hand out.
It's just a picture of their hand.
Right. And then the man is blurred in the background. We talk about, like, disenfranchised men. But no.
Like, I'm so sad I'm engaged. Just look at this. Look at it. Look at it again.
Just keep looking.
I know. Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Burn your retinas. But no, it's one of those things where it just, look, the most important thing to me out of all of this is that this is a covenant that you and I are making with God. And that is where I want the focus to remain. Whether that's with us or everyone else that sees us from the outside, it's not, you could have literally have gotten me a piece of thread.
String?
Yes. A ring pop.
But that's advice to men, is don't go cheap on the ring. It's true. You have to be invested.
What is the statistic? What do they say the percentage of your...
It's supposed to be 1 month's salary.
1 month's salary.
I think that's right, yeah.
I don't know.
For young people out there, if you want to find meaning, find something worth taking responsibility for.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's been a fun journey, fun ride.
I'm just getting started.
Yeah. I'm grateful for you.
Thanks for joining the Charlie Kirk Show.
You're welcome. We should do this more often.
All right.
Any last words?
Well, not walking the plank. So...
You have no final words for your listeners as a cap off?
Thank you guys for listening, and please support Erika's fashion line.
That's sweet.
ProclaimStreetwear.com. See, they liked that. It's my live audience.
And subscribe to The Charlie Kirk Show.
That would help.
Let us beat the New York Times.
You know all of it.
I know all of it. Let us beat the New York Times. We're rising in the charts. We're surging in the charts.
Surging in the charts. And here
we
go. See? She knows all of it. I love you.
I love you too, babe.